Hello guys, and welcome to episode 6 of my Endless Legend playthrough, playing as the Broken Lords. And today we're going to be continuing with our expansion by using our settlers in order to occupy the new provinces. We have one for this island and we have one for Temperate. We've also got this Dust Bishop, hoping to meet up with this army that's going to be travelling downward towards this island. So that should be good, and we have another one coming across here as well to also add to this army. Now this army can hold 6 units now, and we will be adding a couple with these two Dust Bishops, but I'm probably also going to get another Stalwart in that army, and we're also going to get a Dust Bishop for this army moving across the water down here. Let's just move on this Dust Bishop, and we'll move on this Settler, this Dust Bishop as well, and that is all. Let's move on to the next turn. The Stalwarts have just leveled up in my army. Let's get them onto the sea. Continue this Dust Bishop toward them. Get the Settler towards the island. And that army can continue onward. Just making sure that everything's heading in the right direction. I might send this Settler, this first Settler, up to Temperate straight away. And then this one can go on the island once I've explored it a bit more and pacified the settlements. Because at Temperate, I can actually create a settlement, I think, that will allow me to complete the next stage of our faction quest. If I go on the map, you can see that a lot of these tiles will give me dust production, and therefore I will be able to take advantage of that to get the settlement that gives us at least 13 dust. But anyway, that's all again. Oh, we have a production choice. So let's choose that. Probably going to go for the canal system. +1 production on terrain with industry during summer season. So that could be pretty useful, or we can go for Imperial Coinage. Unlocks the resources and stockpiles section of the marketplace, and that can sell our excess glass, steel, titanium and so on for more dust, which could be really useful. We can get another native district, which will give us another minor faction assimilation slot. Could also be a good choice. I'm not sure if we have any like decent minor factions to assimilate though at the moment. And we have Seratan, +5% defense per pacified Seratan village. That could be useful. The other one we're going to have chance to get is the Herners one, +5% attack. Could also be really good. To be honest, I really want the Delvers one, because the Delvers give you, I think, +5% dust production or something like that. Anyway, for our tech, we will go for the Imperial Coinage, I think. And this will be, I think, the first time I've ever used the marketplace to sell resources if I do this. I've never had to in the past because I've never really had an excess amount. But in this playthrough, it seems that we will do. And therefore, we can make some extra dust by selling off some of it, which will be really good because we're playing the Broken Lords. Some buildings being complete. The last Ninja settlement finished in Lillian. So now that has a population of 7, which is really good. We're going to be working on the gold extractor. That's going to be finishing in 1 turn. We also want to add the dust filtration to the queue here, so that we can take advantage of these sea tiles much sooner. So let's actually move that up in the queue. Pretty important that we get our hands on that. And the other thing that I was planning to do, someone suggested in the comments that I move all of my production to dust. And I just get loads and loads of dust. And then I just purchase these buildings. Or anything that I need. Because at the moment, there isn't really much I need to build in these settlements. So let's move it all to dust. Let's see how high our income goes. Because currently, we have the Empire plan that gives us +3 dust per population on cities. And that apparently only counts for if there is a population actually actively working on dust in the settlement. So I'm going to purposefully move all my units to dust, or population to dust. I might leave 1 or 2 in the production tab because it can be worth it in some cases. But yeah, here for example, I'm just going to leave them all on dust production, and then we can just buy the units. Now of course we will still get like some production from these settlements because of the improvements that we have, so you can see we're still getting 34 production there, but we're now getting 77 dust, and our dust production is now 305 per turn. So this could be a very viable way of doing things. I'm not sure if you can merge armies on water, but we shall soon find out, I guess. Move on this army down here, and it looks like we've come across another faction. This one can continue to move up. This one's going to Tiran. And this Dust Bishop can come across, and the settler can now get onto the water. And all is well. Let's move on to the next turn. So Scathoun's finished working on the stronghold, I think that was. Yes, the stronghold architecture. So let's now tell that to work on a stalwart. And we have our new empire plan to choose. So let's go towards the +25 approval on settlements or cities. And we'll keep on the +3 dust per population on cities. And the other thing we might want to do is invest towards the +25% building buyout reduction on cities as well, if we're going to be going down this route. Unfortunately, I can't really afford to do that with the influence points I have at the moment. So I am just going to leave it on the point where I have the +25 approval on cities. Although actually, if I'm using dust, I don't necessarily need approval, do I? Because whether or not a population is happy or unhappy doesn't affect the dust production. So maybe I should just go for the buyout instead. Like that. Yeah, let's do that. Change our strategy a little bit. See if this makes a difference. So we'll go to Niagara. And you'll see that I will be able to just buy out some of these buildings here. So let's buy out the Herner's settlement. And that will add an instant 2-pop to this settlement. It might have been cheaper to just add the pop, but I can always do that in the next turn. Can we merge these on water? No, we can't. Okay. So we're going to have to drop these guys on land. There we go. They are now merged. And we can get this settler up. And the Dust Bishop can come to that army as well. And our settler is nearly ready to occupy that province. Let's go find out who this is. Still can't quite see. Although that looks like possibly the Wandering People. I can't remember the name of them. But I'm sure they will reveal themselves shortly. Actually, no, that's the Ardent Mages. Of course it is. Okay, yeah, because they're the orange ones. We've already actually discovered them. There's only one that we don't know, and that is the dark blue. If we jump into the diplomacy screen, you can see that we know the light blue, which is the Wild Walkers. We know the green, which is, or the dark green, which is the Volters. The orange, which is the Ardent Mages, and the light green, which is the Draken. So that is all. Keep going. I think these slicks might attack me soon. Going to have to be careful about that. I might want to preemptively strike there, so probably going to do that, to be honest. So it's saying that we have 50-50 chance of winning this. Not quite sure that's correct. Let's fight this one manually. See what happens. So I'm going to want to make sure that my units move off the reinforcing tiles. So I'll make sure to give these shift orders or control orders so that they move for certain, and we will launch the attack. This is a bit of a precarious position to attack on the battle map, as you can see, because we don't have much space to move. But if my reinforcements come in, that'll be my hero and the Dust Bishop, and the Dust Bishop can fire as a ranged unit, so that actually works out quite well. Let's move my hero to there. We can completely surround this Harmonite. So let's now launch the attack. That should pretty much die. So you can see they fire, they bring back, like they leech life, and they spread it to the units around them. I actually really like the Dust Bishops as a unit. I think they're really strong. Because this is a forest tile, I can't actually move my hero properly. Like, preferably he would move like 2 tiles, but he can't in this case. So this time round I'm going to tell my hero to move up. That unit can move a tile onward and then attack. We'll make sure that my Dust Bishop moves a tile forwards and then attacks as well. So there you go, healed my unit for 22 health. And now my hero can actually move up and attack as well, which is good. So we'll let that happen. And the Harmonite is dead. See, this is why I was a bit confused as to why it was a 50-50 chance of victory, because there was no way that that was 50-50. That was pretty simple, to be honest. So anyway, let's now pacify this settlement in the next turn. We'll get this Dust Bishop nearly on land as well. It will be good to have another ranged unit for this island. And the settler can come down to the bottom side of the island to actually help explore it a little better. Give us a better look as to how we will place our city. So if the Ardent Mages are all the way down here, I have no idea what they were doing all the way up here. Because we saw their like 5-stack army up there a couple of episodes back. So they were well away from their starting location by the looks of things. Right, construction complete. Great. So let's now attack this settlement. Actually, before I do that, let's move a tile onward. We'll get my dust bishop on land and join that to the army. Then we can attack next turn because we'll have the 2 range units then. That'll be a lot better. Settler can continue here. Another gold deposit. Wow. Okay. Now one thing we can do, instead of creating an extractor, we can actually settle on top of the gold deposit. And that would be one way to take advantage of it. Now the thing is with this island, is that there isn't really any like dust production that I'm going to get from here, so the best place for me to settle would probably be in this forest up here somewhere, because then I would at least get the production and science from each of these tiles, and also I can take advantage of this anomaly, which will give me an extra 3 production there. Whereas if I settle anywhere near this grassland, it doesn't give me any bonuses, so we're going to have to head up towards this forested area in order to get the most out of this province. Continue that guy on his way. And we've discovered a new minor faction, the Sisters of Mercy. Right, that will have to do. We have discovered Error 3. That's because of our research, and now we've unlocked Iron Tier 3 weapons and armor for heroes and units. Newly trained units will now be Masters, level 3, and cost more. And we've revealed new luxury resources, blood crystals, grass silk, moonleaf, quicksilver, and titan bones. And we've also unveiled the strategic resources adamantium and palladium. So we completed the imperial coinage. Let's see what we can work on next in terms of technology. So I might want to still pick up on the alchemy workshop here before we move on to the Error 3 technologies. Although getting the dust refinery here is pretty important, and also the dust depository will give us +4 dust per population on city. Now that again is based on the population actually collecting dust themselves. So we'll add that to the queue first, then we'll do the dust depository, then we'll go back to the alchemy workshop, and then we can continue with our choices after that. Now I need to make sure that I continue to buy these buildings out. So let's buy the Herner's settlement, and we'll add some population to the settlement as well. And we'll get the Empire Mint finished there as well. Great. So this is actually a very interesting way of doing things, having the population on dust production rather than increasing production. So let's get the dust filtration finished there as soon as possible. Use the rest of the dust on the Empire Mint there. Now the other thing I need to do is upgrade my units with the new equipment. So let's give them the Iron Tier 3 gear. Get the sword there, that looks pretty badass. And we will get the new shield, which will give us block 3 on our units, which gives us +8 defense when attacked. And we can get the extra attack from the iron helmet there. Extra health and defense from the chest plate. And extra initiative from the boots. And plus 10% defense as well. Upgrade the ring. And that will give us Sharp Sense 3, which is plus 40% defense against ranged attack, which is epic. Really, really good. Might as well actually add the improved movement here as well. May as well make use of that accessory slot, so we'll add that. This Dust Bishop needs an upgrade, so let's do the same here. Just going to add all the tier 3 armor. The tier 3 wand. And the tier 3 ring. Don't really need the movement on this guy. We'll just make him cost more to build, so not going to bother with that. The rider needs an upgrade. We can't get tier 2 rings yet, but I might add the other ring here to get the Sharp Sense 3. And we'll get the next level hammer. And we now have stun 3, which is a 30% chance to stun the target. Great. And are we going to upgrade the Minotaur? We haven't yet, because I haven't bothered to build any. Kind of a pointless unit, I guess. The only good thing about it is the winter immunity here. Immune to movement penalties during winter. Allows you to use them to explore really effectively, basically. But other than that, pretty useless unit for actual combat capability. I've never really found the Minotaurs that useful. There's no point in upgrading the Settler as well, because it just makes them cost more to build. But they do look badass anyway. So, yep, I think we're all done here. We can just upgrade our hero next. Give him the tier 3 two-hand claymore. Look at that. Pretty beast. And we'll give him the tier 3 armor. And the tier 3 iron ring, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. Actually, that's going to cost too much to do at the moment. So we'll just leave it as is. Why am I losing my changes? Is that because I don't have enough cash? The equipment cost is fine. Ah, I cannot change the equipment of this hero outside of one of my own regions. Okay. So, we'll just leave that as it is for now then. And we're soon going to be settling this region anyway, so we can do it after we've done that. Let's take advantage of all this quicksilver we've found. We found it near Scathoun, Dardagar and Dutherad. Now quicksilver, I'm not quite sure what that does. It gives us 100% XP on units and plus 10 approval. Okay. So I guess we can work on that in the next turn. Although the thing we need to do is research the ability to make extractors for those. So we need the reaping station research and the smelting station research as soon as possible, really. So after we've got the dust depository and dust refinery, we can work on the reaping station and then the smelting station and then back to the alchemy workshop. That will have to do. Continue this army onward. Move that settler on as well. At Dardagar, what do we want to work on now? Probably another stalwart. Or maybe just get these infantry cantina and the stronghold architecture just to make that a stronger settlement in case. And we can get the Dust Bishop as a new army and onto the water. Attack this village. We can just auto-resolve that. Great. And then we'll move on to the next one. And all is done. So now let's get the settler on land here. There's a Draken boat there. I need to be careful about that, because if that kills my settler, I will not be too pleased. But where am I going to place this city anyway? Probably, I think it was here to begin with. Because then we take advantage of the crystal flowers and the black dust. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. And then we can tile either down to take advantage of more sea tiles, or across to take advantage of the river tiles. So let's just continue moving on here. That's fine, not going to bother healing them for as long as I need to. Is there any point in getting my unit on land? Not sure. But there's an adamantium deposit there. And what might be worth doing, because I won't have the tech to create an extractor for a little while, I can place my city directly on top of that and take advantage of the adamantium quite early on. Or maybe I should build it like next to it and then tile onto it. Either way, I think I can get away with going on land now. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully a roaming army doesn't pop up out of nowhere and attack my settler. That would be most disappointing. Again, all is done though, so let's move on. Continue the die booster. And our hero has leveled up, so let's give him another point in the Iron Taskmaster skill. And now we get plus 50 life on units, so all of the units in that army will be very, very healthy now. 394 health on my stalwarts. Pretty incredible. Let's wipe out this next settlement. Turn off that so that my settler doesn't die. And we're just going to auto-resolve this. Great. And my units have actually leveled up as well. Really nice. And where are we going to place this settlement? I think I'm actually going to go for there. Yeah, a tile next to the adamantium. Move this hero down, search the ruins, and we get the Ring of Unnatural Hunger. Wow. That could be worth equipping on my hero. Plus 30% life on unit, and we get the Regeneration 3 perk, which is really, really good. So yeah, probably going to equip that as soon as I can. As for buildings in my settlement, let's just hurry up the production of the borough streets here. And is everything else okay? I think it is. Let's hurry up the building of the Kazanji settlement, and we'll add a population to this city. Great. Let's make sure that those all go to dust production. And we will place down this settlement now, and that will complete our quest, I think. Yes, it did. Colonize a new region, settling in an area providing at least 13 dust. So we've done that, and we've been rewarded the Temperate Chapel, which gives us plus 1% Broken Lords unit regeneration per pacified village on Broken Lords. Interesting. What's the next one? In your region, build a watchtower and pacify all the minor faction villages by whatever means necessary. So we've already done that. Just need to build the watchtower. I can actually hurry that up, I think, unless I haven't researched the watchtower yet. I don't think I have. Okay, so we're going to have to tech towards that in order to complete our quest. So let's just jump into the tech and see where that is. Yeah, it's Imperial Highways I'm going to need, which allows me to build the watchtower at the bottom there. Okay, so we'll add that to the queue then. I'll actually finish that before the Alchemy Workshop now. That's being pushed back further and further. And the other thing we could do is boost our tech a little by putting my population into science, but I'm not in a rush to do that just at the moment. All my other cities are pretty much done with all their buildings. Just going to add those there to the queue. We'll get the dust filtration system finished off there as soon as possible. May as well add those buildings to the queue there, and may as well add those to the queue as there as well. I'm not sure how much a Borough Street would cost in Smezroth. Probably not even worth it really, because there aren't really many tiles that give me more dust in that particular region. But anyway, unfortunately, it looks like it has been my time. So this change of strategy is pretty interesting. I didn't really think about doing this before, but basically what I've done is put all my production into dust, and now that will get me lots and lots of dust per turn, which I can use to build stuff instantly, which will work out a lot better, I think, in the long run. But anyway, for now, that's all. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.